Welcome back to Moving Cardboard. So today I've got something else for you guys, another opening. There's my old heroes from Doom. Today I'm going to open the first adventure pack in the LOTR cycle, the Redhorn Gate. Note on the back here, the Redhorn Gate is an adventure pack of 60 fixed cards for the LOTR expansion to the Lord of the Rings the card game. The contents of this pack were designed to augment existing decks and to provide players with an entirely new scenario upon which their heroes can adventure. The Lord of the Rings Living Card Game Core Set and Doom are required. And there's a rune, an Angathus rune. I'm not sure, I guess that's the set symbol. I don't know why they chose that. That has the value of E. If you look in the appendix to the Lord of the Rings. Not sure why they didn't choose a rune with the value of D. So pop this open. Really appreciate these clamshells, and you don't have to cut them open or anything like that. You can reuse them that way. Okay, so here's the handout. It's an ad for LOTR Nightmare decks. The Redhorn Gate is the name of the quest, difficulty level of 6. Arwen wishes to visit her father Elrond, and Celeborn has bid the heroes escort her over the misty mountains and safely to Rivendell. But the season grows late, and a sudden chill has descended upon the 3 peaks that guard the Redhorn Pass. The Redhorn Gate is played with an encounter deck built of all the cards from these sets, the Redhorn Gate and the Misty Mountains. So that's from Doom and Little Snow. Okay, so we have copies of a card called Snowstorm, which are set aside. We have an ally objective, Arwen and Dumiel. So that's like Beorn's son in Rosgabel. Or, Carrick. Well, you got Williador, but he's not. And, okay, so we've got Caradhras. Can't travel to Caradhras except by quest card effects. Interesting. And secrecy. There's a new keyword here, secrecy. It's on player cards. Secrecy lowers the cost to play the card by the specified value provided the threat of the player who's playing the card is 20 or below. Okay. Interesting. So I guess if you have a 3-cost card with secrecy 1 and your threat is 20, then you only pay 2. Only applies when it's played from hand. So if you use stand and fight, I guess it wouldn't apply. It never modifies the printed cost of the card. Okay, interesting. Let's take a look at the player cards. Got a new hero in the leadership sphere. Elrohir, a noble Noldor ranger, 10 cost, 2, 4, 5, plus 4 is 9, so he costs 1 more than the sum. So what's his ability? When Eladon is in play, Elrohir gets plus 2 defense. So if Eladon is in play, he's a 3 defense. After Elrohir is declared as a defender, pay a resource to ready him. We will not turn back. So Aragorn can pay a resource when he quests. So this is like Aragorn, but on defense. And so he costs more, but if you have Elra here, then his defense is 3. I don't know about that. There's a lot of things I don't know, though. So he's our new hero. Okay, let's look at the leadership cards. Taking initiative, 0 cost. Discard the top card of your deck. If the discarded card's printed cost is equal to or higher than the number of characters you control, draw 2 cards and deal 2 damage to any enemy. So this is a card you would want in like your opening hand before you have a lot of characters. I don't know what to say about this card. It seems like a card you would want in your opening hand, if at all. Or it's good if your board's just got wiped out. I don't know. Next we have Timely Aid, that beautiful horse. 4 cost, secrecy 3, so if your threat is 20 or lower, it's only going to cost you 1. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, put 1 revealed ally into play if able. Shuffle all the others back. So if you have low threat, if you have like really low threat and you only pay 1, you could play a high cost ally for 1. But it's a little bit chancy. It's interesting. I think I like that one more than taking initiative. That is 0 cost. Unseen Strike. Choose a character you control. Till the end of the phase, that character gets +3 attack while attacking an enemy with a higher engagement cost than your threat. So it would be an optionally engage the enemy and you get +3 attack. This one's all about having low threat. Attachment, keeping count. Attached to a hero, limit 1 per hero, so you can't, it's not restricted though, but you can only have 1 keeping count. Hero gets +1 attack for each resource token on another copy of keeping count. That is above the current number of resource tokens on this card. Forced after attached hero attacks and destroys an enemy, put a resource token on this card. What the okay, so in order for this to work, you have to have 2 heroes. This is Aragorn. I mean, this is Legolas and Gimli competing with each other. You'd have to have 2 heroes. Each one of these has a keeping count. After the hero attacks and destroys an enemy, place 1 resource token on this card. So it'd say Dane kills somebody. Then he would get +1 attack for each resource token on another copy of keeping count that is above the current number of resource tokens on this card. So that would mean after he kills, he has 1. Now Dwalin gets +1 attack because there's a resource on another copy and that is above this. So if Dane kills a second person, now Dwalin would have +2. And then if Dwalin kills someone, now Dwalin has +1. And now neither of them have anything. And now Dane has +1. That's kind of weird. So this card is useless unless you have 2 of them out. So I don't know if I would put that in my deck at all. That's kind of interesting and weird, but you'd have to put all 3 copies. So you're voting 3 slots to this, and then you have to have 2 out. Well, okay, I don't see the use of that. Of course, since I play solo, most tactics cards are useless to me because I just don't play with tactics very often. You need lore and spirit. Alright, so what else? Let's look at our spirit cards now. Bofer. Alright, so now I've got Biffer and Bofer. 3 cost. I like that cost, it's cheap. Quest action. Spend a spirit resource to put Bofer into play from your hand, exhausted and committed to a quest. If you quest successfully this phase, and Bofer's still in play, return him to your hand. Get up, lazy bones. So he has like a built-in sneak attack where you can just pay 1 resource to get 2 quests. And then if you have Dane, it's really 3 quests. And then he goes back if you success. That seems pretty good, you know. You can pay 1 to get 3, assuming you have Dane, you can pay 1 to get 3 quests every turn. Or you can pay 3 and just have him on the board. I think he's a candidate for my deck. Renewed Friendship, 0 cost, more 0 costs. After another player, well, this is going to be useless to me as a solo player, but after another player plays an attachment on a hero you control, you may choose 1. You can either ready all of that player's heroes, or have that player draw a card, or lower their threat by 2. So you can, if they help you, you help them. This would be definitely, you would want to sit down with your partner and build your decks together. If you're going to put that in your deck, make sure they have attachments to put on you. Okay, lore cards. Ravenhill Scout, a Dale type character. Exhaust him. He's a little pricey. Exhaust him to move up 2 progress tokens from one location to another location. To move up to 2. Well, I don't know. If you have Northern Tracker putting things on a lot of them, and you've got some sitting around, but you've got one location with that requires more, just you can stack them onto that, I guess. Not a fan. I feel like I'm not a fan of a lot of cards, but then I end up using a lot of them. I don't know. This is initial reaction. I've never looked at these, so I didn't spoil what's in here or anything for myself. Needful to Know 2. Secrecy 2. So this could be a free card. Raise your threat by 1 to look at the top card of the encounter deck, then reduce your threat by X, where X is the threat of that card. That's interesting. I mean, you have like Hennemarth Riversong who can look at the deck, and Denethor. I'm not really playing with those characters right now, but Hennemarth can do it just over and over again. But this can potentially be threat reduction. Well, I mean, every card's going to have something for threat. There's not... Well, unless it's a treachery, I guess. And our neutral. Good Meal, attach only to a Hobbit hero. Hobbit hero, not character. So right now we have Frodo and Bilbo are my only options for this. Discard Good Meal to lower the cost of the next event you play this round that matches the attached hero's sphere by 2. That might actually make some cards, some of those 5-cost cards, viable. There's some 5-cost events that, like, you can bring a hero back to life or heal all damage on all of your characters. Ready all, Grimbazov, stuff like that. I don't know. Okay, well, here's Karadras. Mountain Snow. Wow, when it's the active location, everybody has -1 willpower. Can't travel there except by quest card effects. So those are the peaks: Karadras, Fenidwal, and Calabdil, and the Dimbral Stair. Nice. I don't really want to look at the cards. I like to play it the first time blind, but I'm realizing the more I play this game, you really have to sometimes just look at the encounter deck, get a breakdown of, like, what's the average, like, engagement cost of enemies and what are your frequent issues in order to really tweak the deck. I hate how the B-sides always... Into the pass. So I have to escort Arwen. Oh, where's the Arwen card? I want to look at that one. It should be gray. Do I not have an Arwen card in here? Put Arwen in Domiel. I don't have an Arwen card. No way. Well, there's really no Arwen card. Okay, well, I hope, you know, there's this whole thing about Asmodee's replacement policy, but oh, there it is. Whoa, I was about to worry if I was going to have to go through that. Of course, I bought it direct from them, so here's Arwen. 2 will, so Quester. First player gains control as an ally of her. After she exhausts, choose a hero, add a resource to that hero's resource pool. If she leaves play, you're defeated. So whenever she quests, so she's like Theodred, except it doesn't have to be another person on the quest. It can be anybody. I don't see any reason to exhaust her other than to quest. The risk, though, is anything like exhaustion or Necromancer's Reach. And there's probably something like that in this encounter deck. So I just want to look at 1A without spoiling the rest. I don't want to look at those. Up the pass, Celeborn has bid you escort Arwen to visit her father in Rivendell. Your journey takes you through the Redhorn Gate, so you add Karadras to the staging area. And this cannot be traveled to except by quest card effects, so you have to progress. So that's 3 threat that you're just going to have to eat. Remove all copies of Snowstorm out of play and put her into play. And your typical reveal a card from the encounter deck per player. That's kind of standard. So you probably have to clear at least this before you can even make this the active location, because you've got to go up the pass to Karadras. That's probably step 2 as you're on it, and then step 3 as you get it on the other side. Okay, well, those are the cards. And there's no Eladon cards, so this hero is currently, I would say, no. You know, when there becomes an Eladon card in play, but there's currently not an Eladon. There's a Ravenhell Scout. So there's not an Eladon in the card pool already. So that just means that this is a card for the future, a Noldor card. In terms of cards that might make my deck, maybe Needful to Know. Not him. Not that one. Bofur is probably... My dwarf deck that I have right now would be just add Bofur. I'm not sure what I would take out. Yeah, just Bofur. Maybe Timely Aid? Maybe, but I'm not sure. Okay, well that's the first Dwarf, that's the Redhorn Gate. Enjoy.